Hey everybody, welcome to Rock the Rep. And we're going to talk a little bit today, particularly about straight tone. So, but we're going to do it through the lens of music or songs of the 60s. And the three songs that we're going to do today are songs that you could use potentially as audition cuts. So I've designed it so that this class not only gives you audition cuts, but it also gives you specific pop rock tools. So it's kind of kills two birds with one stone. But today we're going to focus extensively, primarily on using straight tone, because I find that for my singers who are trained classically, that accessing a straight tone feels unnatural, it feels strange. And a lot of singers struggle with that. So we're going to focus on three tools today that you can use to help you access your straight tone. And we're going to do it through the three songs that you could use that would serve for song for shows like Beautiful or Beehive or Smokey Joe's, songs of the Motown era. All right, so we're going to start first, and our first tip is going to be you're going to speak it. Okay, so one of the main things with straight tone is getting the mind or the brain to connect speech and sing, that it's not actually two separate things going on. The more you can think I'm speaking, the closer you're going to get to straight tone. Because if you notice, we don't speak with vibrato, right? Even if we hold a note out or word out, even if we're saying this, even if we're holding a phrase or a syllable on a phrase, even if we're holding a syllable, we're not doing that and going, even if we're holding a syllable. We're just holding the syllable, even if we're holding a syllable. So the more we can think in terms of it's similar to speech, the better. So we're going to do that with our first cut, which is Mama Said by the Shirelles. Now, with this cut, just if you want to follow along with me, and by the way, if you are interested in receiving the demo practice tracks, drop a comment below. I will send it to you. You got to get your own sheet music, but I created the tracks. I had the tracks created, the tracks, and the demo track I can send to you. Just drop me a note in the comments. Okay, so where I picked this cut up was the second, basically kind of the second verse, and here's why I picked it up there. The first part of this song is about really, sorry, hair in my mouth, having a good day. Like you met this great guy and Mama said there were days like this. So it doesn't really give you much to chew on as an actor. There's really no conflict in there. So I picked us up at the second verse where there's a little bit more conflict in what's going on. So it starts at, and she's, my eyes are wide open, but I can see is chapel bells are calling for everyone but me, but I don't worry because Mama said there'd be days like this. Okay, so we are going to use that. Now, before we get into that, what we're going to talk about is the speak it. So I'm going to play the track, but I'm going to speak these words in the pitch range in which I'm singing them. Okay, I'm not going to sing them. I'm just going to speak them. So here's what I mean by that. All right. My eyes are wide open, but all that I can see, chapel bells are calling for everyone but me. But I don't worry. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. So all I was doing with that was getting my mind to start thinking, speak it and elongate the speech. So now I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to sing it, but I'm going to elongate the speech. Okay? My eyes are wide open, but all that I can see is chapel bells are calling for everyone but me. But I don't worry, cause Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. My mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. My mama said. There you go. There's tip number 1. And if you want that practice track, just drop a note in the comments and I'll send it to you. All right, number 2 is back up the dump truck. Now, what do I mean by that? So, or any sort of like, I think dump trucks, but trash trucks do the same thing. When they're backing up, they'll make a noise, a beeping noise, so that you know that they're there and so that you don't get hit. So it's going to sound like beep, 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 beep. That's another way you can get your mind to think elongate without spinning. Okay? I feel like this one is particularly useful when you have songs that live a little bit higher. Okay? So like if you have a song that's got a little bit of a higher belt than this beep technique, probably is going to help you with this a little more. So beep, beep, beep. You can practice that before you sing. So the next cut that we're going to use the beep technique, or I'm not going to transfer the beep technique. I practice it before I sing the cut. Okay. So this next cut is Band of Gold by Freda Payne. So this one definitely is actually not on the Motown label, but it was written by people who wrote for the Motown label. So it still has the Motown sound. And this one, I actually had arranged for myself, but I'm sharing it with you. It's a little different than the actual song because it starts with a slow beginning and then builds up to the chorus. And so it is, again, starting with I believe the second verse into the chorus, okay? So again, elongating speech on this. And here's Band of Gold. I prayed in the darkness of my lonely room, filled with sadness, filled with gloom, hoping soon that you'd walk back through that door and love me like you tried before. Now that you're gone, all that's left is a band of gold. All that's left of the dreams I hold is a band of gold. The dream of what love could be if you were so here with me. Okay, that was a little harder for me to hear. I am in Texas, away from all my visiting family for the holidays, so I'm away from all my stuff and don't have my Bluetooth with me, so that's a little softer, but you get the gist. If you want that track, again, make a comment below. And the final tip is offload at the end. So when we are singing, we are used to a lot of times, especially musical theater, spinning at the end, right? Even if we straighten, we think spin at the end. E, A, ah. But what if we don't want to do that? What if we want to stay straight all the way and the voice, the muscle memory is so used to spinning at the end? What can we do? You can add an exhale at the end. E, A, ah, oh. So what's going to happen is your voice is getting the sort of the same relief and release that it gets from the spin, but it's staying straight because now the relief and the release is coming from the exhale rather than the spin. So we're going to apply this one on the Bee Gees, To Love Somebody. Okay. So on this one, you can use, honestly, whichever verse you want. I am using the first one. Okay. And basically this cut is simply first verse into chorus. And that's it. Straightforward and simple. If you want the track to this, let me know. All right, let's see if this one's a little bit louder and I can hear it a little better. All right. Now I'm going to exhale the end. There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. I want my life to be, to live with you, to live with you. There's a way, everybody say, to do each and every little thing. But what does it bring if I ain't got you? If I ain't got you, don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you. So I offloaded at the end of every phrase. Okay, so to wrap up, and we're going to use this wrap up, you do not have to stay straight tone all the time. And as a matter of fact, most singers and most genres don't. But in pop rock, I would say it is more common, and you're going to find the vibrato used a little bit less. So that becomes a process of listening. I mean, listening and listening and listening so that you hear, if it shows up, where does it show up? Where does it commonly show up? And then you can start choosing where you want to. A lot of times, a general rule of thumb that I give my wailers is like 80% of the time straight tone, 20% vibrato. Play around with it and see where you want to put it, where it feels like it adds some color to the sound, but doesn't move it into musical theater land. Okay, so let's do it one more time. This time, I'm going to try to do the 80% straight tone with maybe 20% vibrato and see if I can kind of keep it in the vein of pop rock without drifting too far to musical theater, but also letting a little bit of vibrato in. Okay, so here it is again from the top. There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. Want my life to be, lived with you, lived with you. There's a way, everybody say, to do each and every little thing. But what does it bring if I ain't got you? If I ain't got you, don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you. There you go. There's 3 songs and 3 ways that you can play with straight tone. If you have questions, drop in the comments. If you would like access to any one of these tracks, you can have the track and I'll give you a kind of a demo singing it so you can listen to it. If you want the sheet music, you got to go to Music Notes for that. All right. I'll see you on Thursday where we're doing 2000s up tempo. We're doing some Alessia Cara. We will be doing some Dua Lipa, and we'll be doing some Justin Bieber. Thanks for joining me. See you then.